What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Pick and Roll, your NBA betting show specifically for player prop betting and free picks. We also go into additional discussion after the fact. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. Sorry for the delay. Had a bit of a technical issue. Me and Pips have been doing the show for nobody for the last 5 minutes, but now we actually are live, and we appreciate you guys joining us. So if you guys enjoy what you see from today's stream, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the Board YouTube channel for content like this. Every single weekday, we will have content like this as well coming through into the playoffs. So make sure you stay tuned to the channel by subscribing and get on board with Pick and Roll. But as we always do to start off the show, we're going to go into the recap of yesterday's bet. Unfortunately, it was a losing day with Middleton falling short on the same game parlay, bringing our record down to 123 and 95 in the season, 5% ROI. So it's still been a great season. We're going to cover this game a little bit later on in the show. And basically, to sum it up here, it was a good spot. Pip said to me when we weren't live that it was a great spot. He played again the 15 plus on Chris Middleton. It's just he only played 19 minutes. The Bucks lost by 41, and Middleton had an injury in the game, a laceration that made him go to the locker room. All of this combined to an unfortunate loss on the bet. But there is a loaded slate today. Pips, I don't think I need to go to any further for that one. We'll talk a bit about that game later, but there's a loaded slate today. 13 games for you guys. So we have some great picks, hopefully, for today. 3 official picks are coming your way. Before we actually went live, Pips said that there's could have been like 15 plays for today. But the 3 best are coming through here. If you guys don't know, for these picks, we're going to give them all out at the start of the show to make sure you guys can get the picks in before the lines move off the show, move off of where we have it. The show lasts like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. So if it moves off later, we apologize. But for now, these are available for you guys to take. It is 3 official picks. First of all, we are going to be going to, back to the well. We always talk about the process being important on this show and not about the results. And here's a bet that lost the other day, but going back to it today because, it should have cashed when we had it last time. But in the Kings-Blazers game, we're going to go Sabonis on the same game parlay. Once again, we're going to take him over, or 10-plus rebounds, rather, over 4.5 assists, and the Kings' alternate spread of -4.5. So exact same bet as 2 days ago, except the assists we're going to take, essentially it's 5+ instead of 6+. And it's -105 odds at DraftKings. Second play is in the Thunder at the Pacers. We're going to go with J-Dub, Jalen Williams, 20+ points, and Lou Dort, 12+ points, which is -110. It's -110 at DraftKings. Like this spot as well here. J-Dub has been excellent without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and we have some statistics that will definitely help prove that as well. And the final play is the Pistons at the Rockets. What is Pick and Roll without a Rockets SGP? We're going to go back to the well on Jaden Ivey, take his over 17.5 points, and pair it with Jalen Green, 18+ points for -110 odds. So let's bring this one up here. Pips, back to the well on Domantas Sabonis. Why are you going back to him despite the loss 2 days ago?
Yeah, it was a great bet. Last time, I think it's a great bet today. He cleared the rebounds easy. He had 12 rebounds, so we are having 10. That should be easy for him. He's always strive for his double-doubles record. And assists, he had 4, while they didn't make any threes on his assists. So he just need one more. Maybe he gets a bit of 4-quarter minutes tonight. If not, still great spot. I just think he had 4 assists on 14 potential assists. I would say even more potential assists because that thing is not properly working. But I'll say that expected number of assists on 14 potential assists is 8 for Sabonis. So getting 5 against terrible defense should be easy for him to get. Repeating the same bet because we are getting one lower assist line, even though it was great last time. So no point of not betting the same spot again.
All right, so makes sense on this one. I mean, we talked about the potential assists from last game. So hopefully, if everything goes to plan today and people hit their shots, this one is a winner. Let's go to the second official play here, and we have the Thunder at the Pacers, and we have J Dub, Jalen Williams on the points, as well as Lou Dort. What do you like specifically about this one?
Just the pace. This game has a total of 237. I think it could be like 250. This game played two teams with high pace and Pacers especially not great defense. Pacers have. I expect them to not play Miles Turner. He is. I think he's questionable for this game. I'll just check. Quick check. Yeah, he's questionable, but they probably. Yeah, he's questionable, but not expected to play. So yeah. So we'll have like a game with Jalen Williams at Jalen Smith at 5. Yeah, just they lack any kind of defense while playing in a fast pace. For Williams' side of the bet, Pacers just lack size at the 4, and they allowed the second most points over the entire season and over the last 15 games. And however we look, they are always allowing top-notch points to opposing power forwards. And Jalen Williams is just a strong guy that's playing unbelievable lately. I think he will be my top guy for the rookie of the year. He's just unbelievable, and we can show the graph. That's the games without Shea for Jalen Williams.
Yeah, here it is.
Yeah, that's Ludor.
Here.
So
Okay.
yeah, J Dub, as we can see, this earlier he had one low game, but if you take a look since the All Star break, he hit the over in 7 out of the 8, and the only game he didn't hit is Sacramento. It's the Kings, a weird game for shooting from him. But after that, same game against the Kings, 27, Lakers 24, the worst matchup. Jazz 20, Spurs 21, and the last two games completely destroying, moving to the first scoring option for the Thunders without Shea scoring 31 and 27 against the Hornets, against the Pistons, and now against the same kind of defense, only faster pace and more points. That's
All
the
right.
part of first part of, but second part is Dort. This is like Dort last 22 games without Shea, and yeah, this just almost 20 points on average. The same thing this season with J Dub and Gide playing more. He's just he's not efficient, but he gets the shots. And with all this running and with his size, he should be able to get to the rim pretty easily because no one on the Indiana Pacers team can match his size and strength. So he should be able to get at least 10 points only on drives, and he should have like 6 to 7 threes, couple of free throws. So I expect Dort to cover this line without much problems. We are a little betting against the Pacers on the quick pace. Yeah, same as the Houston Rockets. Their defense is not great, and they allow a ton of points. Bookies sometimes adjust the lines, but we can still bet same game parlays in a game where we expect a ton of points.
All right, makes sense there. Let's move now into the third official play here. And we have, of course, a Rockets same game parlay that I'll pull up now. What do you like about, Ivy was one from the previous show you like, and I'm assuming this is pace related. What do you like about Jalen Green paired with him?
So the first one, the Jaden Ivey game against the Hawks, he played 30 minutes. He attempted 19 field goals and ended up exactly 17 points. Then a difficult matchup against the Raptors. He played 40 minutes, scored 20 points. Then difficult matchup against the Bucks. He scored career high 32 on 19 field goal attempts and going to the line 12 times. So 32 points against the Bucks with being drive heavy guard against the Brook Lopez inside is kind of amazing. And then next game had foul trouble against the Thunders and still covered with 24 points. And I'll say Thunders are more difficult matchup than the Rockets. And the Rockets will have probably Jalen Green on him. So Ivy should have it pretty easily.
Yeah.
We had Marvin Bagley against Jabari Smith. difficult matchup for him. Rockets is defending the rim, defending the bigs great. Shengun is slow, but they just drop inside and defend well against the bigs. So Wiseman should also have some difficult matchup. Livers not shooting. Hayes should stop shooting. Like, yeah, when I see unbelievable, when I see some games, he just never stop shooting. Like
That's
whenever,
Killian Hayes, man. That's
yeah,
Killian.
he just never stopped shooting. I was like, so last couple of games, yeah. So he shot last 3 games. He's combined for like 12 from 40 from the field, and he'll just shoot like 15 times a game, make maybe 5, and yeah, I think they just doesn't make sense for them for him to shoot that much. I think the more shots should go to Jaden Ivey. Yeah, so if you take a look at Killian Case over the last 2 months, 33% from the field, 19% from the three, like 40% through shooting. Like I don't think there is any NBA starter in the entire league that's even close to this inefficiency. So yeah, I like Ivy. Great matchup for him against the Rockets. He should do great. The second part of this bet is Jalen Green, playing great lately. He's a home court guy. I think he should cover 18 points without any problems with this kind of defense. Yeah, I just think Jalen should cook tonight. We saw J Dub killing them. We saw Giddy having 18 points while shooting 30%. And single cover against Jaden Ivey should be great spot for Jalen Green. She should get inside. She should get to the line. The thing that I like about Jalen Green lately, he's getting to the line. Earlier this season, for example, first 15 games of the season, he didn't have uh, more than 7 free throws in a single game. Then lately, he had 9 free throws, 12 free throws, 9, 14, 6, 11. So, like, his average to the free throw line is up. And I won't be surprised if he clears half of this line only by free throws. So he will need just like 4 to 5 more buckets to clear this line.
Yeah, all makes sense there. Let's move into our discussion in just a second here. Before that, I want to remind you guys we always track our bets with BetStamp, and it's the easiest way to improve as a sports bettor just by using multiple sports books, always making sure you're getting the best possible odds for all of your sports bets. And to do that, we track on BetStamp, but we would recommend using BetStamp as your odds comparison tool. BetStamp compares odds across every sports books for games, futures, and player props, so you can save time and money by checking BetStamp before you bet. You can download the app today or visit betstamp.app in your web browser. If you're looking to sign up for new sports books to maximize your profits, then please make sure to use our special show link to do that with betstamp.app/theboard, or also you can hit the link in the description to do that. If you sign up through this page, it helps you because you're on multiple sports books, but it also supports the show a little bit extra, and we would really appreciate that. We want to touch on now the Boston Celtics game from yesterday because it was a pretty ridiculous game. Boston beat the Milwaukee Bucks by 41 points. It definitely was part of the reason why it cost us that Middleton bet. But somebody asked your buzzer beater asked here, do we have any thoughts? Any of our thoughts change on the Bucks winning the championship after last night's drubbing by the Celtics, who could be, at least should be, their main competitor in getting there?
Difficult game. I think that they shouldn't be playing this, making to. So NBA schedule is weird. So they have 2 games tonight and 13 games tonight, and 2 games tomorrow and 30 games on Sunday, and then 0 games on Monday. So they had 2 games last night, and they made the game Bucks versus Celtics that everyone wants to see, and they have it on Bucks back to back night, and they played without zero energy and got completely murdered by unbelievable shot making of Celtics. I don't think Celtics can do it night to night base because Tatum won't shoot this good. Maybe 1 game in the series, Jalen Brown started with 17 points in the first 9 minutes of the game. That's also not happening. So yeah, just out. I think this is first game in the season. They also blown out the Bucks. Second game of the season, they played without any starters. Went to the overtime, and now again healthy, they are completely murdered the Bucks. So it's a bit concerning for the Bucks. Seems like this matchup is not working well for them. They have problems that the Boston switching everything is a bit difficult for Celtics, and they need for Bucks, and they need to figure out the way to beat it. They need to move the ball faster. They need to attack the closeouts quicker and get into the lines. But we'll see when they play two bigs with Time Lord and Horford how it's going to work. But last night they were unbelievable both sides of the court. So very well deserved win. And yeah, but Celtics shown that maybe they have a poor stage, but they are still amazing team and team to beat. And I still think Bucks are better team overall, but the edge is a bit lower than I was, in my opinion, bef- over the last couple of weeks because they were blown out by the Denver and now blown out by the Celtics. So something needs to be fixed there.
Yeah. As far as my finals prediction, like I think the Bucks will get there. This doesn't obviously this puts a little bit of a blow into that thought process, but for me, like the Bucks are still the best team when they have all of the time to set matchups correctly to deal with Boston, not in second night of the back to back. I think they'll perform better. Also, like sometimes these crazy sort of games happen. I mean, the Celtics were favored by 11 points against the Wizards earlier in the week and lost by 19. They were favored by 11 and lost by 19. So, games like this can happen. I still think the Bucks are the best team. One game isn't going to completely flip me off of that, but as you mentioned, this isn't the first time this season this has happened to the Bucks against the Celtics. So maybe there is something there in terms of the matchups that provides a little bit of additional difficulty. So something to monitor. But I still want to see these guys in a 7-game series. I think it would be outstanding. All right, we were going to talk about some defensive metrics in the NBA. Do we maybe want to save that for next time because of the time constraints? Or you still want to go through that?
Yeah, we can go through it. It's not
All right,
some long discussion. Just
sure,
want to
sure.
show.
We'll pull up here. This is what Pip sent to me. It kind of measures your defensive impact on the let's do some math here. On the y-axis, on the x-axis, it measures your matchup difficulty. So
Yeah,
the gold standard for defense in this scenario appears to be Alex Caruso. His defensive impact is beyond anybody, and his matchup difficulty is near the most difficult in the NBA. Also in this area over here, you see Lou Dort, OG, Herb Jones, Matisse Thybulle. But what specifically jumps out to you about this graphic?
specifically, I would say Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard
Damian,
being so down there, like having positive, easy matchups, and being almost like he's next to Clarkson, Keldon Johnson, Clarkson, and Damian Lillard are almost on the bottom.
oh, there he is. There he is. Sorry.
Yeah,
It's tough
yeah,
to find guys on this.
yeah. But
Sorry, if you're in
also,
audio form, Damian Lillard is near the further right and the further up you are, the better. Damian Lillard is left and very down.
yeah. I'll say the positive thing about this, we have, as you said, these guys, we see Jaden McDaniels being in the great spot, OG Anunoby, Herb Jones, we have Danny Avdia, and also one of the most underrated players. You are just close to him now. Uh, yeah,
Javon
the
Carter.
Javan Carter, man, like he's great at great defender, and he offers you 42% from three.
Yeah, he's having
So,
this is a contract season for him, and I think he might get priced out of playing in Milwaukee because he's having an
Yeah,
excellent year.
he's been amazing. So he has per 36 minutes, 13 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 stocks, while shooting 42% from three. And those are not just wide open threes in the corner. He's making some pull up threes and everything. He's been amazing. I would say Chris Paul being positive still at this age is also pretty amazing. Donovan Mitchell being positive. It's also he was called a con when he was at Utah Jazz, and now suddenly he looks like he can play defense, which is kind of interesting. He's doing great job the entire season. So Scotty Barnes being positive here, so also interesting. But one of the most underrated players of the season for me is Dennis Smith Jr.
Wow.
He's had some comeback season this season, and he's been outstanding on defense. One of the best defensive guards in the league, and he can still provide some rim pressure and some passing. So that's great. Seeing Derek White, Marcus Smart, almost every player on the Celtic being in positive. So that's kind of why they play switch defense. We have James Harden being in positive, but I'll say that's more how great we have Tobias Harris and James Harden both in positive here. And I'll just say,
I really noticed Tobias sticking out here. That surprised
yeah,
me.
yeah, that's Joel Embiid. That's Joel Embiid.
Okay,
Also,
fair enough.
like, yeah, yeah, it's interesting. It's difficult to do this defensive or stats and look to match it eye test. I for sure wouldn't agree that Ja Morant and Tyler Hero are on average, and that's not matching the eye test. Some of these, like 90% of these, are matching the eye test, but Ja Morant and Tyler Hero for sure are not. They are just playing in good defensive teams that makes them look better.
Hmm.
So yeah, very interesting. Very interesting for
Uh,
me. Is
a couple, I'll just say a couple that stick out to me before we finish here. First of all, Scotty Barnes being up where he is impressive to me because a lot of this season it seemed like his defense hasn't been the best. So metrics suggest that, I mean, you can't just discount what you see and not care about
yeah.
stats. Same thing, you can't discount what you see and just only care about stats. But Scotty Barnes being here is a good sign. And what surprised me, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander being here based on what I've seen from this season, he's been quite good on defense. I know he's been positive here and maybe not the most difficult matchups, but I certainly thought he would be just a tad higher on this list. But
Yeah, it's because Lou Dort are getting the most difficult matchup every game.
yeah, and
So,
well, yeah,
but,
look at Dort.
and
He's one of the
they
most difficult matchups.
it's because Shea is taking so much huge offensive load that they rest him a bit on the defense, especially when Dort is on the court. So it's not that he can't be great in difficult matchup. They just rest him on defense, so his metrics are not as good as he is. I think he's better than this from what
Right.
I've seen. So it's a lot of yeah. You can see offensive stats. Look only at the stats. You don't need eye test as much on offense. There are great metrics to measure it. But defense is a bit more complicated, and we need to use both.
It's a good point. Good point. So I got to use advanced defensive stats like the LeBron metric that we had there. It's defense is hard to evaluate for sure. And we do our best. We talked about all defense yesterday a little bit, but these stats kind of working all the stats and all of what you see together kind of gets you the best possible answer. But let's wrap up the show today on a little bit of a time crunch. Just went live right now on the Hammerbed Network, by the way, is our baseball morning show. We now have an MLB betting show for free picks every morning that goes live on the Call to the Pen YouTube channel, youtube.com/at Call to the Pen HQ. Go over there for MLB free picks every weekday morning starting from today. But from our show today, let's recap our official plays. First of all, Kings at Blazers, Sabonis, 10 plus rebounds, over 4.5 assists, and Kings alt spread of -4.5 for -105 odds at DraftKings. Second play, Thunder at Pacers, J-Dub, Jalen Williams, 20 plus points, Lou Dort, 12 plus points for -110 odds, And in the Pistons Rockets game, Ivy over 17.5 points and Jalen Green 18 plus points for minus 110 odds. Again, at DraftKings. You guys have been great. Thank you so much for tuning in to another week of pick and roll content. Let's hope for some winning picks today to round off what could be a winning week with a good day today. We're about 50-50 on the week so far. So get involved, get subscribed, like this stream, and myself and Pips will be back on Monday for more pick and roll. Thanks again, everybody.